I'm telling this story now after many years, not because I enjoy remembering it and not because I want to scare anyone, but because some experiences they don't leave you. They stay somewhere inside your body, quiet, waiting. At that time, my eldest son was studying in 8th grade, a quiet boy, observant. He was the kind of child who noticed small changes before anyone else did. We were living in a rented house then, like we always had. Middle class life, one house after another. Just when the children had adjusted to school and college, the landlord came one evening. He didn't sit down, didn't drink water. He simply said his close relatives wanted the house. That was it. No anger, no argument, just one sentence that uproots your entire routine. That night, I lay awake thinking about rent, school distance, office commute, all the calculations a father makes silently. The next few days, I searched for houses after office, walking through streets, talking to brokers, negotiating rent like my life depended on it. Then I saw it, a 3 BHK house, just 2 streets away from our old place, close to my son's school, close to my daughter's college, close to my office. Everything aligned. Even the rent was lower than I expected. At my age, when things fall into place that easily, you should ask questions. But I didn't. I thought, finally, some luck. We moved in quickly. The house. The house itself looked normal. 2 floors, solid walls, nothing unusual. But above it, on the terrace, there was a small penthouse. Just one room. The previous tenants had used it as a storeroom. Dust everywhere, broken furniture, old paint cans. We cleaned it, painted it, put a bed inside, turned it into a guest bedroom. One thing about that penthouse though, from the front of the house you could see it clearly. It was part of the elevation. The windows were made of semi transparent glass. You couldn't see details, you couldn't see faces, but if someone was inside, you would know. A shadow, a movement. At that time, none of us thought much about it. We should have. The first sign. One afternoon, one of my old friends came to visit us. He didn't call beforehand, he just came directly. That evening, he called me. He said, I came to your house today. I told him, we weren't home. There was silence on the line. Then he said, I saw someone walking upstairs, in the penthouse. He said he assumed we were inside. He knocked, waited. No one opened the door. So he left. I laughed. I told him maybe he saw a reflection or sunlight passing through the glass. But before ending the call, he said something quietly. I am sure someone was walking. I didn't tell my family. Some things you keep inside. My daughter. A few weeks later, my elder daughter had exams approaching. Engineering degree. Stress. Pressure. One afternoon, she asked if she could study upstairs in the penthouse. Downstairs, my sons were watching TV, arguing about volume. I tried to control them. They didn't listen. So my daughter went upstairs. About 30 minutes later, she came running down. I still remember how she looked. Her clothes were soaked in sweat, her face pale, her hands shaking. My wife rushed to her. What happened? My daughter tried to speak, but she couldn't explain. She said the room felt unnaturally hot. Not summer heat, something else. She said her chest felt heavy, as if the air itself was pressing down, as if someone was standing very close to her without touching her. She left her books upstairs. She never went back to that room again. That night, she developed a high fever. 2 days. Doctors said viral, but I noticed something. Even after the fever reduced, she avoided looking upstairs. Changes in the house. After that, the house changed. Not suddenly, quietly. At night, we heard sounds from the kitchen, utensils falling, steel plates moving. We blamed cats, rats, because believing that was easier. But something bothered me. Those sounds never happened when we were awake together, only late at night, only when the house was silent. Downstairs felt safe. Upstairs, no one said anything, but no one went there willingly. The gathering. One weekend, there was a family gathering. Relatives filled the house. Laughter, conversations, food smells. By bedtime, all the elders occupied the bedrooms downstairs. Only me and my son were left. We looked at each other. The penthouse. One bed. Lights off. The room felt warmer than usual. At around 2 a.m., I heard a sound, a chair moving, slow, dragging. I opened my eyes. The chair was still. I closed my eyes again. The sound came back. I sat up. My son whispered, "Nana, are you hearing that?" I didn't answer. I was listening. 5 minutes passed. Then I saw it. Behind the chair, a figure. Not transparent, not blurry, still, standing. I didn't feel fear first. I felt heat, as if the room temperature changed instantly. The figure began to move, slowly, casually, like it knew we were there and didn't care. I didn't shout, didn't pray. I pretended nothing was wrong. I told my son calmly, "Get up." We walked to the door, opened it, and ran. Downstairs, everyone was sleeping peacefully, as if nothing had happened. My father. In the morning, I told my father. He listened silently. He came to the house. After a while, he said, "There is something there, but it is trapped. As long as you stay downstairs, it cannot harm you." That was enough. I didn't ask questions. I found another house within weeks. We moved out within a month. After, I never went back to that penthouse. Years passed, and later, I came to learn the story of that house. The owner once had a daughter, young, beautiful, who had fallen in love with a man from another community. Her father, he disapproved. He beat her harshly and locked her in that very penthouse room. Days passed. No food, no water. Punishment for loving who she chose. She couldn't bear it anymore. She ended her life. Her restless soul, trapped inside that room, wandering, waiting, unable to find peace. I felt it. That night, that feeling of pity, sorrow. I understood her pain, and I made a promise to myself, to my family. I would never, ever hurt my own daughter like that. The house, the penthouse, it taught me something about love, pain, and the consequences of cruelty. Some ghosts aren't just spirits, they are reminders of the pain we leave behind. Even today, whenever I pass by an old abandoned house or a room that feels too quiet, I remember her and I feel the weight of what we owe to those who cannot speak anymore.